Okay, guys, so this is for if you're choosing to do the storyboard for your project. Okay, so you'll click classwork. Assume you've done this part since you made it to this video, but just in case, classwork, you'll go to number 42, slavery storyboard, and you'll see all the directions are written here. Okay, you're going to open up your directions, which is where this video is. It will look like this. And you're going to open up this one. It just says link. Okay, so when you click on this, it's going to ask you to sign in at storyboardthat.com. Okay, so you'll click on this and you'll get a screen that looks like this picture. What you're going to do is click Google and then click on your school email, and that will log you in. The only assignment you should have is this one. Okay? And if you have two storyboards on here, then please do the one with the M in front of it. Pick the one with the M. Okay? There are some directions here, but it's best that you look in our directions document for more detailed directions. You'll come down and click Start Assignment. When you click Start Assignment, you're going to get something that looks like this. So you'll see that there's already a lot of words typed in here, but that doesn't mean that you don't have a job to do, right? So do you see where there's kind of these lines for blanks? That is where you'll highlight that, where the line is, and delete it to replace it with your own information. Okay? So what I would say, for example, because a lot or almost all of your grade is based on this important information you put in here, so please don't skip that. I would say my name is a name that I'm making up, Askina. So that's how I imagine the female version of Askia the Great would sound, right? And I live in Africa. If you want to change this to I live in maybe Ghana, or maybe you live in Songhai, right? You can absolutely do that. I live with my family. That includes I will highlight this little blank and I'll say it includes my mom, dad, and two brothers. My job in Africa was working as all right, so you'll notice in the directions, this is a part that has a word bank for it, right? You can totally choose out of the jobs that they had in Africa that we talked about, right? I don't want to hear that you were, that you were a spaceman, because that wasn't a thing yet back then, right? So, of the options that we had, it was farmer, tradesman, craftsman, or trader, right? I think I'm going to be a craftsman. Right, and now we get to the fun part. So I'm going to pick a background for the first cell, which is this little block, of my storyboard. All right, none of these would make sense if you're all the way 100 years ago in Africa, right? So what we'll do instead is click either US history or country and rustic. These are the only two that you're going to get any backgrounds that will make a lot of sense, right? So here's what I've been using as my example. And if you click edit scene, you can feel free to make it rainy or nighttime, right? Which I would probably do later in the story when it gets a little bit intense, or maybe when we get to the middle passage, right? But for the first one, you don't have to, but I'm going to choose to keep it sunny and daytime. Then I'm going to click characters. And here you'll pick your character. Okay? It does not particularly matter who you pick. Just please don't pick a monster, right? Or an animal, right? Your character isn't a cat who became a slave, it's a person. So I'm going to pick this lady. All right, and then you get to really edit her as much as you want, right? You can edit her pose if you want to. You don't have to, it's not important, but maybe I'm going to make her super happy. She loves where she's at. It's a great time for her. All is well. Right? Then I'm going to pick what she looks like. So remember in class I mentioned that we are somebody who lives in Africa, and unfortunately, your character is somebody who is going to be sold into slavery in this story. So I don't think that our character would likely have, red or blonde hair and super light skin. It's possible, but more likely they're going to have one of these colors at the end for a hair color and one of these skin tones toward the end for their skin, right? Then you can pick eye color. I don't think they wore makeup yet, but up to you. If you want to give her some makeup, that's okay. All right, dress and shoes. So awesome. I made my very first little slide. And if you want to get crazy, which you do not need to do, you can maybe give them a little text box, which you definitely don't have to do by any means. But maybe if you're getting a little crazy, you'll write in here like, um, trade for some firewood. Maybe that's what I trade. Or salt. Ooh, come trade for some salt. Great. Awesome. That is it. We did sell one. Beautiful. Okay. Every day this week, we'll talk about something new. So you don't want to rush and do all of them because your answers probably won't make sense. Right. But then Tuesday, we'll talk about something that will help you with slide 2, Wednesday with slide 3, and so on. Your very last cell is for you to make up, right? So if here you're talking about how you're being treated when you were in slavery, you get to pick whatever you want for this last cell or block, right? Maybe you want to say it was such a terrible time and elaborate on that. Maybe you want to say that you tried to break free or your master has set you free, right? This part is completely creative. All right, guys, and that is all. Oh, and I wanted to show you where to go for anything that had a word bank, right? So, for example, I said that there will be a word bank for jobs to choose from, okay? Here's where you will find that. Okay, so I chose craftsman from the list in the directions, right? There will be a word bank for each block. So, for block 1, a little one too many. It will give you examples for places to live, right? You could pick Ghana, Shanghai, or Mali, or you could just leave that as Africa. For jobs, you don't have a just leave it option, right? You have to pick one of the jobs they would have had. So what I put up here for you to choose from is farmer, tradesman, and craftsman, right? So you would pick your job and type that in here. I did not give you a word bank for who you live with or your name because I want you to be creative with that. Okay, let me know if you guys have any questions, especially once we get to the further blocks.